Welcome back. Well, this morning, suburbs across the country have been named and shamed for being dole bludger hotspots. Caboolture in Queensland, Blacktown in New South Wales and Mildura in Victoria are just some that made this list of shame. Now, can you imagine being a hardworking Australian who just happens to live in one of those suburbs? How would you feel? Let's go head-to-head now with Nine presenter Tony Jones and Shelly Horton. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So, Shelly, I'll start with you. Is this fair?
Absolutely not. I think it's the government that should be named and shamed. They're the ones that are letting these people get away for not turning up for jobs and still collecting welfare. It's so offensive. Let's use Blacktown as an example. They're talking about 333 people who are consistently not turning up for jobs, and yet you've got a population of 45,000 of very hard-working, very, very committed people. So to black ban an entire suburb, I think, is ridiculous, and it's the government that should be looking at themselves for paying these people.
Tony, this money comes from hard-working taxpayers that has to go to people on Centrelink who should be doing the right thing. Is there a better way that the government could have attacked this problem?
Well, in a way, I agree with the left-wing views of Shelly, but I would say that maybe the government should have done something about it a long time ago and we wouldn't be having this conversation now. But look, they've got to crack down on it because it's unfair on people like us that are getting up in the morning and actually doing an honest day's work, and they're playing us on a break. They are laughing. They are literally laughing all the way to Centrelink and then back again. And yeah, look, the government should have done something about it. Look, it is unfair on places like Blacktown, and I'm particularly upset that places like Mildura and Frankston are also having their reputations sullied because of a few people. But unfortunately, that's the way it is. And the government has to crack down, and these bludgers have got to get off their backside and actually go and do an honest day's work like everyone else, because we're sick of propping them up.
Yeah, I think we all just wonder if there was a better way the government could have handled it. Anyway, moving on, in a candid television interview in the US, First Daughter Ivanka Trump has revealed how she feels about the issues which have plagued Donald Trump's administration. Take a look.
It is hard, and there's a level of viciousness that I was not expecting. I was not expecting the intensity of this experience. But this isn't supposed to be easy.
Well, not surprisingly, there's been a bit of a backlash following her comments, many pointing out Donald Trump's own hurtful and vicious actions when he doesn't get his own way. Shelly, do you feel sorry for her?
Look, I try to be a humanist about this and think about how I would feel if my dad was being attacked all the time, so I can understand that it is hurtful for her. However, I think she's had this her whole life, and now that she herself is in the White House, which I still find ridiculous, I don't understand how she's got this job as special assistant to the president and she can make comments about Syria when her only qualification is a handbag designer. So I'm kind of like, I'm trying to be compassionate, but at the same time, I'm sorry, your dad signed up for this. This is what's going to happen.
Tony, what about you?
3 words, Lisa: toughen up, Buttercup. Seriously, I mean, her dad is one of the most divisive figures, not just in the United States, but the world. And when you take on a job like President of the United States, of course there's going to be a level of viciousness. So all I'd say is, while you're propping your feet up in the White House, don't ever forget that people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones.
And vitriol seems to be a marker for this administration, so it's not surprising that that would come back to her.
No, that's exactly right. And when your dad's also so prominent on Twitter and his tweets are rarely charitable, then of course there's going to be a level of viciousness. And she herself, by taking such a high-profile position in this administration, is going to wear some of the flack. So look, that was all a little bit. It was all a little bit woe is me, I thought, that interview. But look, it was on a Trump sympathetic channel, so if it had been on CNN, it might have been a little different, Liz.
All right, TJ and Shelly, always good to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks a lot. Well, still to come.